Hey, everybody, it's me, Jonathan Millard, the voice of The Vale, back with another Big Hype podcast, brought to you in association with Hype Energy Drinks. Check out their products and description in the link below. But right now, joining me in the virtual studio, from his home via my home to your home, it is my very special guest, Mr. Kieren Keen.
Thanks for having me on.
Mate, welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, good. Not bad. Yourself?
Not too bad.
Good.
A little bit tired yesterday, but you know, we're
Getting
getting
ready
there
for
now.
Christmas,
We're getting there now. At Christmas, yeah. Well, this is pre-Christmas, pre-Christmas. I don't even know what that word is, but yeah, it's challenging.
Certainly is.
Just people everywhere, and I'm just like, I'm done. I've got one more show left, so 2024 is not completely done yet for me.
Nice.
Your call on Friday, but
nice. Back to your second home.
It's starting to feel like a second home.
Yeah.
The amount of time I'm spending there, but who knows? That that may change. So we'll take it as we go. But I enjoy being at the York Hall, and we'll get to you at the York Hall in a minute.
Yes,
but
definitely.
Before that, the first question, and the question I ask everyone on the podcast is, how and why did you get involved in boxing?
See, that's a good one, to be fair. It just so at the age of roughly around 7 or 8 years old, my dad took me to the boxing gym. I was always, I would say, underdeveloped as a kid. I was always, smallest in the class, whatever. So around the age of 7 to 8, I went to my first boxing club. They basically looked at me, said, "No, sorry, he's too young." Even though I was 8 years old, they didn't believe it, so they turned me away. So years went past again, and Dad said, "Should we go try again?" So this was at the age of 12 years old. We went back, and they say after your first session, if you love it, you'll get the boxing bug, and that's definitely something I got straight away.
So 12, 13
12 years old when I started.
12 years old. So what was it that got you hooked? What was the thing that drove you to sort of actually that I love doing? What was that?
Do you know what? I think at that age it was my dad behind me that was the driver. Guiding, not pushing me, but guiding me into something to try and obviously not only make something of myself, but just something to focus on at such a young age. And obviously it's turned out well.
Did Dad box as well?
No, Dad didn't box. No, a long history of fighting, but not a boxer.
A different kind of fight. Okay, different breed.
Yes.
Okay, all right, we go. So yeah, so he obviously just saw something and thought, this is something that's going to help you.
Yes, yeah.
Guide you, get you into that. And that's nice to spend time with your dad,
100%. Yeah, definitely.
I've got a little one. I've got two little ones, and I look over that way because that's where they're sleeping. Tonight, the one's in bed, the other one's still up, I think, just chatting to himself. No, I'd like, the girl is really sporty. My boy's not so sporty, but I like spending time with them, and I like having them in my life.
Can't beat it. Yeah, 100%.
I think that's key. And you say you've benefited from having Dad behind you and on you,
definitely,
in your corner, fundamentally.
Most definitely, yeah. So, especially at such a young age, I feel. Sorry to interrupt.
No. Your podcast don't stop me from talking because I'll talk for Britain.
Yeah. No, I think especially at such a young age to have that guidance into something, and a parent who's obviously just as committed as what you are is, I think, what sometimes a lot of people lack, or what a lot of kids lack. Which obviously then the older you get and the more you begin to grow up, you don't really know what path you want to head on. Whereas I think because I had that guidance from a young age, as soon as I hit like the 15, 16s, I mean, we've always taken it serious, but as soon as we hit the age where you could take it really serious, it was like I already knew what I wanted to do and I knew what path I wanted to be on.
Cool. So starting off in the amateurs, was that where we started? That was where we started, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. What's the amateurs like for those? I mean, if you've listened to some of the podcasts and some of the others, listeners will know what the difference is. But for you, what's the difference in amateurs to pro?
I mean, to be honest with you, I was always told, from sort of the younger age, the way we've worked. I mean, me and Dad have always learnt together from the start, but we've sort of we've had our own style. So I've been at different clubs having amateur fights, and you use them for the sparring, the fights, but the majority's always been done in the garage or in our gym at home. So you begin to develop your own style, and for me, that style, Dad's always been a huge fan of boxing, so that style developed from what he learned himself, over watching the boxing for all them years. And that was the pro style. Obviously, you slow it down more, setting up your shots more, explosive work. I never really, obviously, the amateurs is the apprenticeship to the pro game. So you have to do your apprenticeship in order to get to where you want to get to. If you're good enough, you'll get there. And unfortunately, if you're not, you won't. So, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed being an amateur as such, but that's only because I knew where I wanted to be in the long run. It was more about the final goal of where I wanted to get to, rather than looking at just every day at a time.
Okay. So having that plan in place has helped get you to where you wanted to be. So in the amateurs, how many fights did you have roughly?
I had a mixed record as an amateur, quite a mixed record. 20.
I'm not worried about the amateur.
No. I was just going to say I had 23 as an amateur. Won 12 out of the 23. I had a good record even around the local area. And then that began to change when I went to London. Obviously, going to London from the Suffolk area is something that no one's really ever done. There's never been anyone from Suffolk, as far as I'm aware, that's boxed for places, like the West Ham and the Repton and this and that. There may be a few more now, but at the time when we made the move, I think at the time when we went to London, I'd had 10-1-8, but instantly it was, you're boxing in championships, you're boxing in London finals, this and that, with boys that are well above your level. You're sparring with boys that are well above your level. So if you take a loss, you're always learning from it. So that really gave me the push to know that I could get to where I wanted to be. Competing in the midst of all these boys. I didn't mean any
disrespect to your amateur career, but what I'm trying to sort of say is that I think boxing fans particularly, they're very sort of guided to the fact that he's undefeated as an amateur and then he's undefeated as a professional.
Yes,
and say there, you're quite open about the record. You're not worried about the record.
100%. No. And records are for DJs.
I like that one. I'm going to keep that. Maybe I'll make that into a t-shirt. No, you're absolutely right in saying that, because it's not about getting a perfect record.
No, it's just about building that experience. Yeah, 100%.
Building the experience, learning from everything. The L is not a loss; it's a learn.
Definitely,
it's that opportunity to take that on board and see what else you can bring from it, what you can learn from it, and go back and. Good. So, how many? Sorry, you moved from Suffolk then up to. Which club was your first one? Repton, or was it? Or
West Ham we went to first, yeah.
Okay, and then on to Repton.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool. So again, you've travelled a little bit, and you're quite happy in moving around and getting into different places because obviously the plan.
We don't have the miles.
That's the plan. If that's key, I think, to a lot of people, because they don't realise, you've got to try and find your route, and that's where the L's come in as well. That's where the learns come in as well. You work there, that was good, that was okay, you can learn from that and do better at this, and then
definitely
and that gives you then, like you say, your style. So after Repton, you decided then, was that sort of the time that you'd looked at sort of turning pro, or was there something between the pro and the amateur?
Yeah, so I mean, to be honest with you, I always enjoyed being an amateur. When I moved to London, not moved to London, but as in clubs, I was at West Ham for 3 years. I was at Repton for a year. But I was sort of, you're sort of stuck between, you start getting a few losses, and things become a bit tough, but you don't always, it's hard to look at it from a point. You're technically in there with boys some would say you shouldn't be in there with as an amateur on paper, blah, blah, blah. But when you start getting these losses, it's hard to, when you get a win, you're on such a high. And then when you start to get losses, even though it's a challenge sort of out of your depth, it's still hard to continue to, grow and carry on and keep trying winning and winning and winning. So I think in the end, it just become one of them things where I'd kind of just had enough of the amateurs. Quite a few bad decisions. I mean, there'll be many of people out there that know the amateurs, that know how it goes. And to be honest with you, I started working with Kieran before my last stint in the championships. That was a good stint in the championships. And then after that, it come to January this year. And he basically just said to me, look, if you've had enough of being an amateur, let's turn professional. You're plenty good enough to turn over, so it was kind of like, it hit me by surprise, and we went for it. So that was that.
I mean, I was a referee and judge in the amateurs. I understand. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, 100%.
it happened recently to colleagues of mine down the road from here. He didn't feel the decision went the right way. The judges felt the decision went that way. We're not going to get into the whole
No,
politics
yeah,
around it, but
Yeah.
understandably, there are sometimes where things you feel have gone your way and you think, well, I've done enough work, but it's also subjective as well. I've always said this.
100%. Yeah.
Sometimes your style doesn't mash with the judges that,
100%.
what they like. And, from certain angles as well, you can see the head going back because the jab is connected. From the other side of the ring, it doesn't look like his head's moved at all.
Yes,
like I say, it's subjective.
It's in the moment,
So, judges have it hard enough as it is.
100%, yeah, definitely,
It's tough for them, but so Kieran Farrell, obviously, you mentioned that guy's name, and what a man! He's got world champions in his pocket now as well.
Yes, yeah.
He's doing phenomenal things with some of my fellow Welshmen up in the north there as well, near Liverpool and Wrexham. Warburton and Yaxley as well. So he's got some great people, great prospects in his corner. He's obviously got you as well in there as well. So
we I mean, to be fair, he never put it out there. We never put it out there. Me and Farrell, we've actually parted ways. So we parted company, not on any bad terms, not on any sort of malice there whatsoever. He's obviously got Daniel Dubois now. And he just said to me, I got a message from him. There was a few other fighters as well. I just got a message from him to say we can carry on doing what we're doing, but Daniel Dubois is going to be taking up a lot of time now. And I said, look, at the end of the day, I understand where you're coming from. So we come to a mutual agreement just to part ways. Like I say, I still speak to him, and he's still always there if I need him, which is nice. But I've just recently signed with Nielsen's and Mark as a manager, and obviously Dad's still my trainer. So it's working out well, really.
That's breaking news for people maybe as well. So thank you very much for sharing.
No
I didn't know that, but now I do.
No.
So
not a lot of people do. To be fair, I don't like to blast stuff all over the internet,
but like you said, it's an amicable. It was, and understandably, you said, well, look, understandable. Dubois is
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Look at where he is right now.
Look at where he's at.
He's at the edge. He's at the edge of the precipice of being, Frank believes in him. I mean, you hear what he said the other day on a thing about the heavyweight division, how it's the most exciting division. He's excited because he's got Daniel Dubois.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
He believes in him, and I think obviously Kieran's going to have to focus on that as well. And I get
100%.
I think most people will understand that decision and why you did it.
Definitely.
So signed with Nielsen then. With Mark,
yes,
we like Mark. He's a nice guy.
What a guy! 100%.
He's doing he's got some great prospects signed up as well, and
doing great things.
Bringing together some great shows and an important calendar as well going into next year as well for you and others, I'm guessing as well. But we'll come to that in a minute. So let's just talk about the debut. It's the home of British boxing, the iconic, historic York Hall again. Like we just said, it's like my second home. But it certainly is an amazing place to box, and I think everyone has to do it in their boxing career at least once. I take my hat off to anyone who wants to get in the ring anyway. But you went in against quite an experienced journeyman from Colombia, Joshua Ocampo, something like 40 fights to his net.
43 at the time, I believe. Yeah, 43. Only ever been stopped twice by the referee.
Yeah. So, but how did you prepare for that fight? How did you think going into that fight? What was in your mind going at that point?
Make or break. Not to put too much pressure on myself, but knowing, obviously, never shied away from a challenge. Never had it that easy. And it wasn't easy at all. But I feel like the way I come about the fight and the way I prepared for the fight, it was it was all just the perfect debut, really. I maybe sort of first, second round being your debut, you don't really know what to expect. You come out, all your crowds there. We had 130 people there, so obviously just from Suffolk, good crowd there. All come from Suffolk. Especially, like I say, obviously I box for Repton, so they have all their home shows there. I boxed there as an amateur. So to then be able to have obviously my professional debut there, that was brilliant. It really was. Everyone said to me, anyone that's obviously had their debut or had a few fights, they said to me, make sure you enjoy every minute of it. If you do one thing, just make sure you enjoy it. And I enjoyed every single second of it, definitely.
I think that's what I said to you as well before the show. But
yes, you did. Yeah, when I come in the change rooms, yeah.
Enjoy it, because it's your debut, and ultimately it's that moment. There are going to be other fights that come to you and coming your way. Again, speaking from experience here, maybe a little bit, but there's certain ones that you will want to or will not. They're not. They may be nothing to write home about kind of fights.
Yes, yeah.
There's still fights on there, they're still on your record, and they're always going to be there. But there's certain ones that you think, actually, that was something I did well. That one, I've forgotten about that one. Oh, did I really fight? I fought that guy. Yeah. Not disrespect to your opponents, but there's going to be moments in your career. So if there's one thing you want to take forward, and that's the debut. Every round went your way according to the referee, scoring referee that night as well, Sean McAvoy, and refereed by Pucci. So he was a trainee referee. He's fast projecting up the thing, but again, an experienced journeyman in his own right with over 100 bouts to his name as well.
Yes,
so
definitely.
He knows what he was looking at, and I think he scored it the same, even though he wasn't technically scoring. It does speak of that, and like you say, difficult night for you then otherwise, or was it kind of? Did you feel that it was everything went to the plan that you had before the bout? Or
to be fair, I mean, it couldn't. Do you know what? It couldn't have gone. For me, it couldn't have gone any better. Everyone says, you'd love to get a knockout on your debut or this and that and impress, but you cannot beat gaining experience. There's nothing you can beat in the professional game more than gaining the rounds and gaining the experience. It will always help you on later down in your career. Don't get me wrong, same thing again, knockout would have been nice, but, tough, durable journeyman. He knew how to survive. There were shots that was landing that he was just kind of getting away from. But look, I performed very well, and I've got a lot to learn going into the next one. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Big Hype Podcast, sponsored by Hype Energy Drinks.
The next one. That's the next step. When do we know? Are we management talking at the moment? Are they sort of saying, well, we've got this show, that show? Where are we looking? February, March?
Yeah, March time.
Okay.
Yeah, March 22nd it will be. It's not been officially announced yet, but I'm happy to put it out there.
I get two pieces of breaking news tonight. Thank you.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, March 22nd.
22nd, get it in the diary. Your call again?
No, O2 Indigo. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yes.
Make sure you get your tickets early, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be a sellout. So,
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Make sure you get your tickets on that one. But that's cracking. So you already know what the progress is and what the plan is. So what is the plan? Where are we going to be at the end of 1 year, 2, 5? Where are we roughly?
To be honest with you, hopefully the end of next year, calling out some fairly known names. I've already got these names in my head, but I'm not going to go blasting it all over the internet yet. But yeah, end of next year, I want to be in a good position, set me up for 2026, and be pushing right on up the ladder. So
Titles?
I don't plan on hanging about for too long.
Okay, titles?
Yes, definitely.
Any particular one? Any particular strategy? Is this part of the plan, or?
I'm not. I'm not going to say too much at the minute because I don't want to give too much away. We've got some. We've been in talks. We've got a plan lined up for basically pretty much for the next 2 years, really.
I was going to say, I'm not going to push you on it, but I mean, obviously the logical steps is Southern area, then an English, and then a British opportunity, perhaps a Commonwealth somewhere in there, or in a European
100%.
Well. Yeah, that's obviously the logical.
Yes, of course.
Path.
Yeah. No, 100%
to follow, and I don't. You'd be fool not to follow that unless an opportunity came up.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Obviously you've travelled around quite a bit. So would you be happy if? Don't know. You got the call tomorrow. Kieran says, "Actually, I know a guy. On a fight on the Riyadh season, and off you go. Yeah, championship opportunity. Would you be happy with that, or would you sort of like, well, actually, I want to do a little bit, or I want to stay?
If I got the opportunity to be there tomorrow, I'd be there yesterday. As simple as that.
That's it. Simple 100%. As that.
Yeah, I'm always ready to go. Always ready to go.
Good. And you're not phased by being in the away
Nope.
corner?
Nope, not at all. Not at all, never.
No worries
Up for
at
the
all.
challenge, always up for the challenge. I feel like I like to be the underdog as such. I like that feeling. But no. If I got the opportunity, I'd be there.
Cool. So that's the 2-year plan. 5 years, touching on, because how old are you? You're not that...
Only 23. Just turned as well.
So 28, where do you want to be by the time you turn 28? I'm going to guess world champion somewhere.
100%. That's always the dream. Always a dream.
Any preference on which body? They're all pretty good. I mean, I'm not trying to sort of sway you in any way, shape, or form, but is there a particular belt that you think, actually, that's the one I want on my mantelpiece? That's the one I want in my glass cabinet to show the kids?
No, I want them all. I want every one of them.
I love it. I want them all. Just everyone. Green, black, blue. I'll have them all. Red. Yeah, happy days.
Definitely.
So you'd be looking for that undisputed championship some point, somewhere down the line.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. I'll always continue to work towards it.
And how is that in the light division? Because you're light at the moment, aren't you?
I'm boxing at lightweight. I boxed at lightweight. Well, to be fair, I've pretty much boxed at the same weight for the last few years as an amateur. I boxed at lightweight on my debut. Yeah. I could make, to be honest with you, I can make featherweight. Super feather is where I'd be comfortable at division-wise, but that being day before weigh-in, obviously same-day weigh-in, I don't want to be cutting too much weight off. Yeah. But I made lightweight really easy, to be honest with you. I wasn't a struggle at all.
That's good. I mean, we've had this discussion with others on the podcast, and not going to get too much into it, but weight is important, obviously, in the game.
100%. Yeah.
And where you want to be, because you said about getting a knockout, they come with that comes with a little bit of weight behind your arm as well. So I mean,
100%. Yeah. You got to know where you want to be, and what's best for you at the end of the day. Yeah, you got to know. It's all right saying, "Oh, I could get down to 56 kilos. I could get down to 57 kilos," but you got to know. You got to understand where you perform best. Good. And also where your body performs best. You got to understand the in betweens of it.
Good. You seem everything. You seem very clued up and everything, and very sensible about it all. And I like that. And I think that's going to take you far in this game, because I think what you want to go and where you want to go. I know you're not letting me love an awful lot of it, but from what I'm gathering, you've got it. You've got the map. You've got the roadmap out.
Yes, 100%.
Go here, there, and then over there, and then up to there, and that's how it's going to work. And
100%.
Very, very, very determined on getting that. And I wish
there may be bumps along the road, but the destination always remains the same.
And you've got a saying for everything as well.
Yeah, you're going to have to get your notepad out,
Mate, I'm going to make so many t-shirts off you. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's so many highlights for this one tonight. So great. Perfect. And then obviously at the end of a career, and I mean, we're talking, quite a few years down the line. Is there something that, at the moment you're doing this, but after that, I'd like to do that. Is there something in your mind that you think, actually, I would love to try? I don't even know. Whatever.
No, there isn't really, to be honest with you. I've never really thought outside of that box. To be fair, I mean, some people say, at retirement, you enjoy your life, blah, blah, blah. But the boxing is my enjoyment for life. So I don't really know what I would do without it. I feel like I'd be kind of lost. I mean, I'm 23 years old. I've never ever had a drink in my life, not even a sip. So I've never tried beer. I've never tried any alcohol. I've never smoked. Completely 100% clean at 23 years old. And I will be that way until I die, pretty much.
You're straight edge, mate. I like it.
100%.
I like it. You're not missing much, don't worry.
No, I don't.
It's not worth it nowadays with alcohol and everything else. I mean, I drink, but it's only on special occasions, realistically. Yeah. And you're not missing anything, honestly. That's speaking from an old man's experience. So yeah, there you go. So good. Okay, so it sounds like everything is, like I say, everything seems to be on the roadmap. Everything seems to be mapped out. You seem to know exactly where you're going, and you're a man on a mission, which I absolutely 100%. Love. Like you say, the destination's the same. There might be bumps on the road, but it's always in the plan of where you're going. This and that of where you're 100%. Going.
Yeah,
mate. I wish you every success with this, because I think I'm going to watch your career, and I'm going to be looking forward to the next opportunity that I get to call you as well, because that was awesome. Regardless of that was an awesome night in your call.
Yes,
luckily. So and I think the name Golden Boy is going to be come true in this capacity.
Yes.
I don't think there's much doubt in that. There will be gold, silverware, or whatever you want to call it, coming your way in the future.
100%.
And I wish you every success with it as well. So fine. Have a closing tradition on the podcast, which is where I ask you either or question. Some of these answers you may have already, we've touched on a little bit already in the podcast. So we'll see how you get on. You just answer them as you prefer, whichever you like.
Okay.
Whatever you feel you want to do. If it refers to you, if it's referred to your opponent, that's up to you. So, you ready?
Yep, born ready.
Okay. Southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Body shots or headshots?
Body shots.
Train alone or with a partner?
Train alone.
Early bird, night owl?
Early bird.
Heavy bag or speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Underdog or favourite?
Underdog.
Boxing gym or outside training?
Boxing gym.
Short and powerful punches or the long and technical?
Short power.
Fight dirty or fight clean?
Fight clean.
Loud crowd or quiet atmosphere?
Loud crowd, as you know.
I know that mate, your crowd actually blew the place up because it was like wow. Quick knockout or strategic win?
Strategic win.
Okay, and the hypothetical question: if this fight ever happens, because it still hasn't happened yet, AJ or Fury?
I hate this question. Oh, I don't know. I love AJ. When I met him, he was just an incredible person. I've got to back him. I've got to back the man. I don't care what people say. AJ, 100%.
Kieran, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. I'm not going to say any more on that because I've said enough. Because I think I think that fight is just. It's got to happen, please. Just.
I don't think it ever will.
I've got that feeling that it won't. They'll just go, well, Tyson's at that. Tyson's retired. AJ, well, like I said, I still think he's got more in him. And he's got a lot more to offer the sport as well.
Yes,
it's a shame to see him leave and retire after. I
think I think he just needs to find himself again.
And I think he'll rediscover himself, and I think Tyson is the same. We don't know what's at this moment in time when we're recording this. We have no idea what happened on the 21st of December, so we don't know if he is the world champion or he's not, and whatever happens after that. I mean, Tyson's been in and out of boxing a few times, and Fury's been in and out of boxing a few times. He's said he's done, he's back, he's done, he's back. So,
I know.
I think a hypothetical question. That's why I say it's a hypothetical question because it's got a strange feeling it's not going to happen. But Kieren, thank you so much for coming on the Big Hype podcast tonight.
Thanks for having me on. It's been brilliant.
Mate, it's been a pleasure to have you on as well. How do people follow you? How do people get involved in your journey? What's your socials?
I'm on Instagram, Kieren_Keen, Facebook, Kieren the Golden Boy Keen, and TikTok, Kieren Keen _.
Fantastic. Yeah, get involved, follow this guy, because one of the guys I think, I've had lots of them on the podcast so far, and there's lots, and I think they're all going to go. I'd love to see the 50-50 fights. I like to see that 50-50 fights. I'd rather see those. I'm sure you'd rather have those as well.
Definitely.
So they're more testing, more challenging.
Yeah.
You signed with Nielsen and TM as well. They do shows together as well, TM14. John, I know John very well from for a good couple of years now. He loves the 50-50s. He likes to match the 50-50s as much 100%, as possible. That makes for more exciting boxing for the fans. And it obviously challenges you guys as boxers as well. So we look forward to seeing what the future holds. I look forward to seeing you name your opponent as well in March 22nd, did you say?
Yes, March 22nd.
March 22nd. Get it in the diaries, get your tickets now, and check out Kieren on socials. But mate, have a good evening, and thanks very much for joining us again. Take care.
Cheers, bye.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to the Big Hype podcast. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and really I just want to ask you personally, if you could just send this on to a friend. Send it in their text, to their socials, to WhatsApp, whatever. However you get it to them, just get it to them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it, and I certainly will appreciate it. So thanks again for listening to the Big Hype podcast, and thank you again for sending and sharing.